If I start in the standard SAP Business One item master, I can pull up my parent item. From this screen with all the master data and defaults, I can move into the extended item master. Within this screen, I have the same tabs with some extra tabs, and the information is pulled through from the standard tabs. Then I've got the option to add in here some extended information against this parent. I can also create the bill of material. So here I can see all of my component items and their numerical position within the bill of material. I can see the required quantity for each component. I can see the factor. So this is how much of this component is required per parent item. So all of these are 1. So for example, this item here, I need 4 of this component for every 1 of the parent. If this is a fixed quantity, so regardless of the order quantity, I want a fixed quantity of one of these components. So if it was some material used for cleaning or in part of the setup process, I could have a factor here of fixed. So then it would be a fixed quantity regardless of the order quantity of the parent. I've got the option here to tie the component consumption into a routing. So in this example, all of these components are tied to resource 40. So when I book time against resource 40 and a quantity of completed parents, it will consume the equivalent quantity of the components automatically via a backflush. I've also got an active flag, so if any of these components become obsolete, I can leave them on the bill for reference, uncheck the active flag so that they're no longer brought through to the order-dependent bill. I also have the revision for this item on this bill of material. This gets pulled through to the work order. Any changes do not affect existing orders, so we can see those existing orders, the revision history. The lead times pulled through from the master data against each component. I also have the option to create variants. The options are A through Z, so I have V-A, V-B and so on. I've just got A through E visible on the screen at the moment. So for this single item master 9000, I can check off here which components are applicable to a particular variant. So I could have from this master list of components, I can have a list that are applicable to variant A, those that are applicable to variant B, and so on. So it gives me variations of this single item master. So I don't have to create multiple item masters. I can just use the checkboxes to create multiple variants. If I go into the routing, this is the resources that the product passes through during the manufacturing process. So I can have as many resources as required, and the time required per unit. I've also got some setup time here as well. So when it's calculating the order, it will be the setup time per order, then the time per unit be multiplied out by the order quantity. I've also got the option to add variants for resources and the routing in the same way as I did for the bills of material. If I go back to my standard SAP Business One item master, from here I can right click and I can move into the structure view. This is a graphical representation of the bill of material. So I can extend down here because I have a sub-assembly. So I've got my parent item 9000, shows in a folder because it's a production item. Then I can see all of my components underneath and the quantities. Another folder, so this is a sub-assembly. Then underneath that I can see its components and its routing. If I zoom in there for a moment to make this a little easier to see. So folder is my production item. Blue box represents a purchased component. The A represents it's set up as a backflush, automatic consumption, and the pink 40 underneath means that that automatic consumption is linked to a booking against resource 40. Then the numerical position of the item on the bill, the component number, and the description. If I scroll down here again, I've got a folder for my sub-assembly. It's automatic consumption linked into resource 40. Indented underneath there are its components. So I've got 4 purchase components. Again, automatic backflush against this time resource 10, which is the resource on that level of the bill of material, and then the numerical sequence of the component. If I hide that there, underneath I've got the resources for the top level 40 and 50. If I zoom back out, then we can see for the resources, if I expand that subassembly, so here I've got the 10-minute setup time, then I've got 5 minutes per parent for the resource of the subassembly, 30 minutes per parent at the top level, and also some inspection time. So I've got half a minute inspection time there as well. So all of these quantities will be used and multiplied out when we create a work order against this production item. That concludes this session on the extended item master and the item structure view. Thank you for your attention.